Hello and welcome to Amy Beth Presents Stranger Stories. Not just my story, but there's a whole lot of strange stories happening here at Stillwater Books. And I'm honored to be part of this event. And it's interesting that people have these true stories to tell about hauntings and unusual things and things that are just explained that just keep coming back to you as a recurring theme. So stay tuned for more.
Our next reader is Amy Beth Paravano. Amy Beth hails from Rhode Island. Her early writing credits include the chapbook Heroes and Unsung Heroes and poetry with notable works. She is also a female Elvis impersonator around the state and is known as Elvis's little sister for her rockabilly performances. She also produces and hosts her own television show, Amy Beth Presents. For more about her, you can visit perry.records.com. Welcome, Amy Beth.
I don't like to find something I'm familiar with, but usually I'm not reading or stuff. First of all, I'm honored to be here and have been selected. I thought that either that was too spooky or not spooky enough, but anyway. This is how it started. Is Norman there? That's actually the title, because it kept coming back to me that way. And for various reasons I'm going to find out now in this. All right. Is Norman there? I live in my home, which dates back to the Victorian era, and upon several occasions, a feeling of a capricious spirit looms in the darkness. The wooden dial telephone that used to work no longer does. It resembles those old farm stand ones you see in the grocery stores decades ago. Halloween, in fact, the whole month of October appears to be a reappearance of a particular spirit. Its cold presence, a tap on my shoulder, but there is no one visible. But I think I hear someone say, "Hey, is Norman there?" Several years ago, prior to that incident, I had made a handmade rag doll for my son, who actually named it Norman for some reason. So I placed it on the nightstand in the hallway. Its black button eyes just staring out in space. Cute, but a helpless creature, to say the least. One afternoon, when my son returned home from grade school, the telephone rang. Upon answering the call, I said, "Hello, who is this speaking?" The reply from the caller to me was, "Is Norman there?" Well, I felt strange spook with chilly goosebumps all over me. My son went over to fetch the rag doll. I said to the caller, "There is no one here named Norman." Hung up the phone. Several days later, though, I decided to investigate this man on my own. Upon going up the creaky stairwell to my attic, I discovered something else besides the cobwebs and the old boxes of memorabilia stashed in the closet and the floor spaces. A blackthorn stick was hiding behind the hardwood door. That was a clue. It appears to have been an authentic Irish shillelagh that was left there by the previous owner of my home. Continuing my search, I discovered a wooden frame glass covered with a layer of dust. Carefully, I looked upon getting an old dust rag nearby and slowly began to clear it off until I read this. Sir Norman Muldoon, for his delightful service as a firefighter, journeyman, troubadour, and a volunteer Kentish guard. My goodness, was I ever surprised by all of this? I thought, should I want to do some bewitching? I can just wave the blackthorn stick around as if it were a magic wand. And I did, but I kept this discovery all to myself. But upon further investigation, I have found no other clues. Upon several trips to the local library for a name search, there was still nothing found. I tried the Historical Society, still nothing about any living relatives. My guess is that he was originally from Ireland and he came to America years ago. Maybe he stayed in the house for a while and then he lived there. You know, nighttime seems to be the most intriguing for me, especially concerning the presence of his ghost. My bedroom is on the first floor. Even though my hearing is not what it used to be, I clearly hear noises up in the attic. At times a thud or a thump. Mind you, it is not squirrels. So I have stashed the shillelagh behind my bedroom door and I wave it around as a magic wand. Then the noise stops. Daytime is fine, but I'm not there all the time. But when I am, and I feel upset about something, I feel a slight shove or a tap on my shoulder. I think that might be Norman encouraging me to move on. Don't worry about things. It was a cold, snowy winter. You know, being snowbound for several days was something that I did not enjoy. So I began baking some bread and pies for an upcoming holiday. The doorbell rang, and I ran to the front door thinking that it may be my son or someone coming to plow the walkway of snow. So there was someone there wanting to clear the snow. I agreed to it. As I returned to close the front door, I smelled smoke. I had left the burner on, and in the oven the bread was burning. The fire alarm went off. But even though the fire alarm went off, I felt a cold breeze encompass me. In that pantry area, I grabbed the fire extinguisher and I yelled so that the person outside clearing my walkway could hear me. Luckily he did and came into the front door that I kept unlocked. He began to help me put out the smoke. The small oven fire, was I ever so grateful. I paid him for clearing the walkway and I gave him some extra for putting out the small fire. He said, "Thank you, ma'am." I said, "By the way, what is your name?" He said, "Norman." "You can call me Norman." I said, "Oh my God." He said, "Ma'am, is everything okay? You all right?" I said, "Oh, sure. I was just remembering something about a friend, somebody long time ago. And bye-bye, thank you," and then he left. Bewitching can be fun, but dangerous. You must be clever with the ghost or a haunting. I drill that. There are other strange phenomena that happens in this house, but only helpful and mischievous things. But I'm happy about that, to say the least. Another inquiry about a previous owner, I asked the neighbor, said, the man that lived in this house prior to us had passed away on Christmas Day. His name was not Norman, it was Gerald. So around that time of year, there's a certain nostalgic feeling, hearing the people I had not seen in a while come by, as if by thought, or call me on the phone and say, or in a dream, they arrived just to stop by to say hello. But at times there is music that sounds as a harp or a celeste from the parlor that now has a TV and a couch. Our neighbor said that in reality, a distant relative of Gerald played the harp. So it appears that on occasion, he makes his presence known as well there too. When I feel as if I need some direction, I just wave that shillelagh around, and rather carefully too. But several years later, I recovered the findings of the rag doll, Norman, in the basement under the stairwell covered with cobwebs. I phoned my adult son and shared that with him. He laughed, remember in the early days as a toddler and how spooked I was by the memory. Meanwhile, as I put the dusty relic of the doll in the box to bring upstairs, the telephone rang. Next to the old telephone, the one that had on the wall, and we don't have no caller ID. Okay, so I pick up the phone, I said hello. The voice said, "Is Norman there?" He said, "I know that Norman is there." Shocked, I screeched. I said, no, this can't be the same caller for Norman several years ago. And the person says, "Yes, it is." There is no one named Norman here. The caller was persistent and repeated it over and over and over again. But I know Norman is there. Is Norman there? I looked at the dial, bewildered and scared. I hung up the phone.